Right now, diplomatic negotiations between the United States and Iran have completely collapsed. Both sides have recalled their teams, leaving a vacuum where communication used to be, and where conflict is now brewing. If this tension were to lead to a standard open water conflict, the U.S. Navy possesses a level of conventional power that is currently unmatched by any other force on the planet. In a direct force-on-force naval battle, the Iranian military would likely face total destruction from American carrier strike groups within a matter of days. Because of this massive disparity in raw firepower, Tehran has abandoned traditional naval doctrines. Instead, they are forced to engineer highly specific, unconventional tools to threaten American vessels, which is why the recent public warning from Iranian naval commander Shahram Irani is drawing international attention. He announced that his forces are preparing to deploy a new, highly classified weapon against American ships. The wording of his taunt was unusually specific. Commander Irani stated publicly that he hopes this new deployment doesn't give American naval officers a, quote, heart attack when they finally see it in action. Historically, this level of rhetoric has come from the West. Former President Donald Trump previously responded to Iranian threats by suggesting the total destruction of their entire civilization. For a nation staring down the barrel of the world's strongest navy to issue such a specific psychological threat, they would need a hardware capability that is both real and difficult to defend against. Evidence points to a specialized weapon known as the Hoot, Persian for whale. It is a high-speed torpedo Iran first began testing in 2006. To understand why it's a threat, you first have to look at how water behaves. Pushing an object through the ocean creates massive drag, which typically limits the speed of conventional torpedoes to about 100 kilometers per hour. The Hoot uses a technology called supercavitation to bypass this limit. By emitting a blast of gas from its nose, it creates a continuous air bubble that completely envelopes the projectile, pushing the water away so it never actually touches the torpedo's skin. Essentially, the torpedo is flying through a pocket of air while underwater. Without water friction to hold it back, its speed accelerates to a terrifying 360 kilometers per hour. At those velocities, a carrier strike group has almost no time to react. Even the most advanced defense systems would struggle to calculate an intercept before the 200-kilogram payload hits the hull. However, this extreme speed comes with significant engineering trade-offs. You cannot break the laws of fluid dynamics without a cost. That same gas bubble that makes the weapon fast also acts as a physical barrier, blinding the torpedo's internal sonar and making it very difficult to guide with any real precision. Furthermore, the massive amount of fuel required to maintain that bubble limits the Hoot's range to only 15 kilometers. In an open ocean battle, the weapon would run out of energy long before it ever reached a U.S. fleet. But Iran doesn't intend to use this weapon in the open ocean. They intend to use it in the Strait of Hormuz. This map shows the physical reality of the strait. At its narrowest navigable point for major warships, the channel is barely 32 kilometers wide. In this specific environment, the 15-kilometer range of the Hoot is no longer a flaw. From the Iranian coast, these torpedoes can reach almost any ship passing through the channel, giving a U.S. carrier no room to maneuver out of the danger zone. To ensure ships stay within these kill zones, Tehran utilizes a secondary tactic: mass deployment of underwater contact mines to block off wider, safer routes. These methods have become increasingly unpredictable. Reports indicate that the Iranian military has even trained dolphins to plant explosives in areas that U.S. forces have already cleared of mines. The supercavitation hardware and the narrow geography of the strait are two halves of a single, coordinated naval design. Iran understands that they cannot win a prolonged war of attrition. Their goal is not to defeat the U.S. Navy, but to achieve a single devastating hit. Sinking just one major American warship with a super torpedo would demonstrate that even a multi-billion-dollar carrier strike group can be compromised by a weapon that costs a fraction of that price. Commander Irani's heart attack quote isn't just a boast. It is an active psychological operation designed to make U.S. commanders hesitate before entering these waters. In the cramped waters of Hormuz, the raw speed of the Hoot is only one part of the threat. The persistent fear that it might be waiting just below the surface is what makes the trap effective.